You know, when we think about what our kids eat, we're really thinking about their future, aren't we? So what if I told you that one of the most powerful tools for building that future is probably hiding in your pantry right now? Yep, we're talking about whole grains. So let's get into it.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start by unlocking the power packed inside just one tiny grain. Then, we'll get into the super important difference between whole and refined grains, see how they fuel your kid's body and mind every single day, look at how they build a foundation for long-term health, and, of course, wrap up with some real-world tips for your family.
All right, let's kick things off with a pretty big question. What if a single type of food could be a major player in building your child's brain, their growing body, and even their future health? I mean, that's the kind of potential we're talking about here.
Think about it. A child's body is basically a 24/7 construction site, right? There's always something being built, something growing. And just like any big project, you need two things: high-quality fuel and the right building blocks. Well, that's exactly what whole grains are. They're the premium fuel and the essential materials for everything from strong bones to a sharp, developing mind.
But here's the catch. Not all grains are created equal, not even close. To really get all these amazing benefits, we have to understand what makes a grain whole. It sounds like a tiny detail, but trust me, it has a huge impact.
So, what is a whole grain? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's the entire kernel, the whole shebang, just as it grew out in the field. It's made up of three awesome nutrient-packed parts: the bran, the germ, and the endosperm.
Okay, let's put these side by side, because this is super important. With a whole grain, you get all three parts. You got the bran, that's the outer layer packed with fiber. You've got the germ, that's the powerhouse of nutrients. And the endosperm, which is mostly starchy carbs. Now look at the refined grain, like what's in white bread. During milling, the bran and the germ get completely stripped away. All that's left is the starchy endosperm. And just like that, poof, most of the fiber, vitamins, and minerals are gone.
So, who cares about a little bran and germ, right? Well, it turns out keeping that grain whole makes a massive difference in your child's day-to-day life. This is where you see the benefits, like right away.
Because of all that fiber we talked about, whole grains are like a slow-release fuel pack. This is huge because it helps you avoid those crazy sugar highs and the meltdowns that always seem to follow. The result? More stable, consistent energy and, as every parent knows, way more stable moods.
And that steady fuel has some amazing daily payoffs. We're talking about sustained energy that lasts through school and all the way to the playground. It means better focus and concentration in the classroom. It means better mood regulation. And on top of that, all that fiber is great for digestion, and it helps kids feel full and satisfied after they eat.
And get this is pretty wild. Some studies have found that as many as 95% of children with ADHD might be deficient in magnesium. And guess where you find tons of magnesium? In the bran and germ of whole grains, the exact parts that get thrown away to make refined flour. It's a really powerful connection to think about. Okay, so that's the day-to-day stuff, which is great. But this is also about playing the long game. Choosing whole grains is honestly one of the best investments you can make in your child's future health. Let's look at how. I mean, the science on this is really solid. A diet that's rich in whole grains helps build this incredible foundation for wellness that can last a lifetime. It seriously lowers the risk of heart disease, it helps slash the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, and it's even linked to a lower risk for some cancers. Plus, it supports a healthy weight and even strengthens the immune system. And if you want to peek under the hood for a sec, here's how it works. Whole grains give you a much more stable glycemic response. That's just a fancy way of saying they don't spike blood sugar. They help lower the bad cholesterol, which is great for heart health down the road. And because of all that fiber, they have a high satiety index, meaning they help kids feel full, which is key for maintaining a healthy weight. It's like a protective shield from the inside out. All right, this all sounds great in theory, but now for the real world. How do you actually get your family to eat more whole grains, especially if you've got let's say a selective eater on your hands? I know, it's the real challenge. Let's get practical.
First off, you do not have to overhaul your entire pantry overnight. Seriously, just start with 3 easy steps. 1. Go slow. Try mixing half whole wheat pasta with half regular pasta. They might not even notice. 2. Make it fun. Use cookie cutters on whole wheat sandwiches. Make colorful rice bowls. And 3, and this is a big one, lead by example. If they see you eating and enjoying it, they're way more likely to give it a try.
Still running into a wall of no? Okay, here are a few more tricks for your playbook. Try serving a new whole grain with a sauce or topping they already love. Get them in the kitchen with you. kids are so much more likely to eat something they helped make. Try out different grains like quinoa or barley to see if you find a winner, and keep an eye out for whole grain versions of their favorites, like pancakes or pizza dough.
And maybe the most important tip of all, you gotta be patient. The dietary guidelines for Americans say it can take 8 to 10 times, 8 to 10, of just seeing a new food on their plate before a child is even willing to try it. So what does that mean? It means don't give up if they say no the first or second or even seventh time. Persistence is everything. Okay, so when you're at the grocery store and you're feeling overwhelmed by all the choices, here is the one simple trick you need to remember. Just flip the package over and look at the ingredient list. If the very first ingredient says whole grain, whole wheat, whole oats, or brown rice, you found the good stuff. It's that simple. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a little challenge. A simple question. What's just one small swap your family can try this week? Maybe it's trying whole grain bread for sandwiches, or maybe it's making brown rice instead of white rice for dinner one night. Just one small thing. Because remember, it's those small, consistent steps that build a lifetime of healthy habits.